gentlemen, to another exciting edition of the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark, and joining me, as always, is my fearless co-host,
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder! One of these days, we're going to get that lower third to say fearless co-host, Mr. Matt Snyder.
I'm sure. I know a guy. We can make it happen.
You know a guy?
Yeah.
Man, how do you get to know a guy and I don't get to know a guy?
Well, you gotta know people.
You gotta know people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Snyder.
Yeah.
Happy August 28th.
Can you believe it's the end of August?
No.
Our guy says no.
Video people.
Yep.
So, no, I cannot believe it's the end of August, but you know what that means, don't you?
What?
We are mere days away from the Saladio Enhancement Event.
That's right. That's coming up.
That's coming up next Tuesday.
Yes, it is.
We are 6 days away, 5 days away if you don't count today, 4 days away if you don't count the day that it happens. That's how my sister does math, right? You don't count today and you don't count the day of the event.
Well,
instead, you just count the days in between.
She's wrong.
I'm going to let her know you said that.
Tell her. You tell her I said that.
I'll tell her.
But yeah, however you count it, it's coming up very quick.
Yes, it is. On September 3rd, we are doing the Saladio Enhancement Event, which is going to introduce stuff.
Yeah, is that all we can really talk about?
You know, Bob has let a little bit more slip, a little bit more kind of come through, filter through. But basically, we can tell you that the product offering is being enhanced.
Yep.
The comp plan is being enhanced.
Yep.
And the opportunity is being enhanced.
Yep. Big time.
That's kind of everything that I'm really willing to share. But
when I hear that the comp plan is being enhanced, I think more potential to make money. Results not typical.
Whoa. Insert disclaimer here. ...
Yeah.
You know, it's been pretty fun seeing the launch of Saladio.
Yeah.
Because from the moment of when you conceptualize this kind of an idea, you start to put all of these little elements into play, and you start wondering, how is this going to work? How are these things going to interact? How are people going to accept or not accept? What's really going to be the outcome of letting this opportunity into the wild? And we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Since we launched at the end of March.
Yeah, we sure have.
And here's what I will say to everybody. For anybody who has ever had an interest in Saladio, has an interest in Saladio, for anybody who has been on the subscription, for anybody who has been an IBO or wants to be an IBO, this is the event to tune into. The new enhancements that are coming to Saladio are going to be a game changer, a massive game changer for the Saladio opportunity. And a lot of people are going to absolutely, if you're not there, you're going to miss the boat. Yeah. Put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
Yes.
Enhancements.
And then
that's all you need to know.
You know, whoa. Something weird just happened. Do you hear that? I'm getting an echo now.
Oh, I don't have an echo.
Oh, maybe it's just me. I'm echoing in my own headphones.
Well, hopefully you're not echoing on the audio.
Yeah.
Matt was low. I just turned him up.
Oh, I was low. He turned me up.
Oh.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Everything's fine. Carry on.
All right. As long as the stream is good, people can hear us.
Yeah, exactly. That's we just care about the people. That's all.
We do it for the people.
We do it for the people. So, wow, this echo is going to drive me crazy. I'm going to take my headphones off so that I don't have to.
Oh, do you have an echo in your headphones?
The mic, Aaron, give me a thumbs up or something so I know. But
he has an echo in his headphones.
Yeah, you know, with the Saladio Enhancement Event, everything that's coming about is going to be, it's going to be like a new beginning for most people. They're going to see the opportunity. They're going to see, and there will be an offer made that will be a very limited time offer, and you're going to want to be on the cutting edge of that. So for every single person who's listening to me, I hope that you've already made plans to join us Tuesday. I couldn't get the day right in my head. It's Tuesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. and buckle up
Also
because
6 p.m. Utah time.
Utah doesn't have a time, Matthew.
It does.
He does this kind of stuff just to bug me. You know what? I'm going to ask our online audience to give me a little bit of support here. Utah is not a time zone.
It should be. That's my official stance.
Well, what does UTC stand for?
Yeah, that's right.
This is going to be an amazing opportunity, but it's going to be a chance for everybody to really to get to know the background of the origin of Saladio, the beginning of Saladio, as well as what's coming with the enhancements and why the enhancements and why now. And Bob Snyder himself is going to be doing the bulk of the introduction. He's going to be sharing quite a bit of information, and I just can't wait for people to see what is coming about now.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's going to be awesome.
I don't know what I can say beyond what you've already said, other than I just can't stress enough how important it is for you to be there. Just make it a priority.
Yep.
Trust me.
Trust Mr. Snyder.
Yes.
So in addition to the 3rd, we have a secondary event. Now the primary event on the 3rd, this is going to be for all IBOs, ICM, customers, people who already know, like, and trust Saladio and Renatus, right?
Yes.
We're going to have a follow-up event on the 9th of September.
Okay.
This is on Monday evening, again at 6 p.m., and this is going to be an event that is designed for all guests. So we're going to take opportunity to introduce this new enhancement to everyone, and then Bob is going to show the new intro presentation.
Hold up. You said the 9th of September.
Yep. Which is a Monday evening.
Okay.
It is a Monday. The 9th is a Monday. We're going to be doing this Monday evening at 6 p.m.
I understand. Roger that.
Roger Dodger.
I heard... anyways, it doesn't matter. Yep.
Okay. So that is coming up. Both of those events are really designed to empower IBOs, ICMs, customers, and on the 9th, guests to get a really clear picture of what's being created and what is created inside of Saladio right now.
Yes.
And I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be really,
me too.
Really cool.
I'm particularly excited for the Tuesday night coming up here. But yes, they're both going to be great.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. In addition to the cool events that are coming up, the Saladio enhancement events, we have the Leaders Retreat right around the corner from that.
I know. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Well, so not to let too much loose here, but we're going to be taking some of what gets presented at the Saladio enhancement events, and we're going to be magnifying them at the Leaders Retreat.
So first we enhance, then we magnify.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, I'm coming up with all the good words, aren't I?
Yes.
Enhance and magnify.
That's right.
We are making bigger, larger, more in focus. No, we're really going to be empowering every single person that comes down to our Leaders Retreat to be able to take full advantage of the opportunity. And not only we're going to do this through the incredible trainings that we've been talking about for weeks and weeks. You know, we got Mr. Ron Williams coming. We have Woody Woodward's going to be there. We have a featured surprise trainer that I'm not going to tell you who's coming, but we have a surprise trainer that's going to be there.
Yep.
Bob's going to be there. We have another surprise trainer that's going to be there. We have 2 surprise trainers. I'm not sure we've announced either one of them. And pretty jacked that they're both coming.
Yeah.
To the Leaders Retreat. And then Bob, Matt, Woody, and I are all going to make ourselves available on Sunday. We are just going to kind of find we've got this nice cabana reserved. We're going to be taking time to answer any questions that anybody has about anything.
Yep.
So in addition to the incredible training, we are then going to make ourselves available to really mastermind with, brainstorm, share ideas, act as a sounding board for anybody, for anything that they want to talk about. It's gonna all be fair game.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing everybody.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
There's many people that I only see like once a year because they live out of state.
Yep.
You know? Or I might only see them at nationals or something like that. And so I'm really looking forward to reconnecting with a lot of people.
Yeah.
This will be cool.
Right on. Yeah, I'm super excited about it, and I think that this is going to be the event that reignites everybody's passion. You know how we talk about, it goes from your head to your heart, right?
Yes.
This is going to be the opportunity for us to take what's already in their heart and to restart what's going on. It's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely.
So that's what we've got coming up, man.
Another don't miss event. That's for sure.
You know, we have this is going to be the best attended leaders retreat we've ever had. We've got over 200 people that are going to be joining us in the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana at a just magnificent resort. It is absolutely gorgeous. But it's going to be the best attended leaders retreat we've ever had. We've never had this many presenters and speakers with us at a leaders retreat before. And honestly, I've never been as excited for a leaders retreat as I am this one.
Yeah.
Because of the magnitude of what we're going to be talking about and revealing and sharing with individuals, as well as with just the number of people that are going to be there. There is something truly special about getting to take the time at a leaders retreat and being able to just get to know people better, hear their stories a little more, be able to understand, what kind of opportunities and challenges they're facing and see what you can do to help them. It's magical. There's something magical about the leaders retreat, and I'm super looking forward to it.
Me too. We're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
So be there.
Yeah. Be there.
Or be square.
And I would say, make sure that you get your tickets to the big group excursion, but those are already sold out.
Yeah. We've got a packed event this leaders retreat. This is like you said, the most I think we've ever had. This is going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, outside of those two events, we have a couple of regionals that are going to be coming up later in the year. We actually have a live recording that's coming up later in the year as well that we haven't really talked too much about.
Yeah, what is that?
It's on October 18th, I think.
Okay. Not the 19th?
Yeah, no, I think it's the 18th, if I remember right. It might be the 19th. For anybody who doesn't get the joke of why the 19th is significant, watch Community.
Yeah, go look up October 19th Community.
It is the 18th, yeah. And October 18th, we've got a live Renatus recording coming up.
Sweet.
It's going to be awesome. And then, So, Mr. Snyder.
Yes.
I have some questions for you.
Mr. Stark, I have hopefully some answers.
I hope so,
If I don't have an answer, I'll just say I don't know.
Well, now, see, that's an honest way to approach the conversation. And the questions that I have for you are going to require your honesty. I think a lot of people, though, are really going to benefit from this conversation because of all of the misconceptions, the misperceptions around your job title and around what it is that you do and embody here with the home team. So,
what do I do?
What is your job title?
The Vice President of Corporate Relations.
So you are the Vice President of Corporate Relations.
That's right.
What on earth does that even mean?
Well, I handle the billing department and compliance department, as well as working with lawyers on various lawyery things, intellectual property, that kind of stuff. And I also handle if there's a dissatisfied customer or somebody who's, who's whatever, they're upset for some reason and it gets escalated. It comes up to my desk.
So you basically handle all of the complex relationships inside and around Renatus.
All the corporate responsibilities. Yes. That's right. That's what I do.
So, would have been okay. Let's start with compliance, right?
Yeah.
Because compliance seems to be where you invest a lot of your time.
It is a big one,
and it's where a lot of people, I think, have a severe misunderstanding of what compliance is. So, if you could, in a nutshell, kind of give us a definition for how you view compliance, what would that be?
Rigorous truth-telling.
Rigorous truth-telling.
Yes. So during the sales process, it's easy for people to see the problem with like words like embellish or something like that. It adds like malice or like an intentionality to it.
Right.
There's oftentimes, sometimes there might be, and we I feel like we've weeded out all those people, but where there's, so the cases that I deal with anymore, or in the recent past, typically are not. There's nothing intentional about the non-compliance in their advertising or posts or anything like that.
Right.
They just don't quite understand where the regulations are. But the reason I say rigorous truth-telling would be, like if you're going to bring somebody into Renatus to market Renatus education, you must also tell them, or this is what our income disclosure statement is for, but it tells them how many people aren't successful. Because in many cases, probably all cases, I mean, a salesperson is going to focus on the success cases, or the people who become
best
successful.
Best case scenario, happy day path.
Of course. And that's literally all advertising. I mean, why would you buy a car if you didn't think it would make your life better? Or buy this cereal if it either didn't make your health better or taste good, right? In many cases, that's what their advertising is, just it tastes good. So, but it doesn't taste good to everybody, right? So... Or, there might be a few people that are allergic to it. So, you know what I mean? Like, because literally there's no such thing, or at least I can't think of anything, a product that would be good for every single person. We live in or we market in a space where it's highly regulated. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of scrutiny that is placed upon our market. And I understand why. There have been bad actors. There have been people who have intentionally manipulated people
and harmed others. Yeah.
Sold them something, or even defrauded them in some cases. So I don't know if it's like the gate on my mic. Are you hearing? You're not hearing that. You're not wearing them. It's weird.
No, I had to take off the headphones because it was distracting me so much.
As long as the stream is good, I think, hopefully we're good.
I think we're all right. So let me ask you,
Matt, is that better?
What do you see as the most violated compliance rule that people, and I'm assuming that people violate this unintentionally, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, we've weeded most of the bad actors out, and if we see anybody doing something intentionally harmful, we get on it real quick. But what do most people accidentally or ignorantly do?
So I would say it's probably hashtags or something surrounding either a hashtag or just like the word wealth, like using it, in a way that's non-compliant. Financial freedom, financial independence, wealth. Those are like the three things that I probably see the most. I don't see financial freedom hardly at all anymore. If I do, it's really old marketing. It's from like 8 years ago.
Right. Right.
We've done a really good job of training people, and same with financial independence. I don't see that one. It's more, occasionally. Wealth is probably the one where people just misuse it, because if you, it's not like it's a bad word in and of itself, but if the net impression of the post is that everybody who joins this thing, this webinar, this buys this education, whatever, is going to be wealthy, then that would push it over the edge to non-compliance. That's,
Gotcha.
The net impression matters.
Gotcha. So if somebody were to accidentally do something where they use a word, or they use a phrase, or they create the net impression that is a little not as clear as it could be, mm-hmm. And they receive an email from you, what does that mean for them and their standing inside of Renatus?
Well, we educate. That's what we do. We focus on educating people. We don't, we're not looking to, kick them right out of the company, just first go, right? Now, if there were egregious or what I would call like repeated behavior, or where people are just completely unwilling. I have had some people who are just completely unwilling to change. Now, this was years ago, but they didn't they didn't see a problem. They thought that we were being oversensitive or something, and they've gone on somewhere else to market. And, if you're not tapped into this, you might think that because you don't know. You don't know, and it's easy to see other companies that have just popped up 6 months ago that they have no compliance department, and their people are saying whatever they want. There's a couple of companies right now, I see their stuff, and it's egregious as far as, the non-compliance to regulations. I think it's only a matter of time before they get their teeth kicked in by the FTC. That's my guess. Or
another regulatory agency somewhere.
My guess is with how egregious this stuff is, if a regulatory agency does pick it up, they're going to also bring in the FTC. So, yeah, that's my guess. I don't have a crystal ball, but I have to guess. But I think that the easiest way to stay away from this, from non-compliance, from where's the line? Just focus on what is our education doing? What will it do for everybody? That's educate, right? So people want to learn how to invest in real estate. Our education teaches people how to invest in real estate. So if you stay away from the results of, make $1 million or, get 12 properties in 12 months or something, something like that. That is a claim that not everybody is going to get. Right, not everybody who buys the education is going to get 12 properties in 12 months. So, just focus on educating people. They have a want or a desire to learn how to invest in real estate, and we sell that.
Nice.
We provide that.
So, do you ever feel like you're living in a real life version of The Office? You ever feel like you're running across characters where you're just like, okay.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've got also you get characters that you end up dealing with, or people that it's interesting to see how they see the world or how they understand it. I feel like now though. With our marketer base that we've got, everybody is on board with being compliant, playing by these rules, of understanding the impact of not playing by these rules and what that looks like. So, I feel like we're in a really good spot as far as our field and compliant marketing. I mean, it's not going to ever probably be 100% because there's always somebody who's new and doesn't understand, or sometimes there's just you can't know everything unless you're really tapped into this. I feel like it's it's hard to know sometimes whether something is or isn't. It's shades of gray, maybe even, I don't know, at least for many people, and so they're trying to figure out what's okay, what's not. So the posts and the advertisements that I see that cross the line are just barely over it usually. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
So is your design, your emphasis to weed out bad actors, or is it to more educate people to being good actors?
It's to educate. Yeah, 99% of our marketers just need to be educated, and once they are educated, they're fine. They don't pop up on my stuff anymore, Yeah. So and we've got software that we search the internet, so it's not just me clicking around on Facebook. That would be an arduous process.
Yeah.
But I don't see them pop up, nearly as often or at all. Once there's just a little bit of education that takes place, it usually doesn't take that much, but just a little understanding, because the industry as a whole used to market a certain way. Industry, both being MLM and real estate education. So, and there's still, I haven't seen any real estate education. Well, actually, there is. I mean, I'm not gonna call people out or anything. That's not what I'm about. But I have seen some that's pretty. It's still over the line. But the MLM space is what I've seen the most
Yeah.
egregious stuff with. So.
Yeah. So if you could rename the compliance department to anything else, what would you call it?
Ooh. Something that well, maybe the education department. I don't know. Like,
the education department.
It's huge because most people do not operate with malice or fraudulent intent or anything like that. So, most people just need a little education, and then they're good and they're on their way. I don't know. I don't have like a one word.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe something along the lines of communications clarity department, or
yes,
something along those lines. Because I really feel like you invest so much of your time into empowering people to trying to create, to say the same thing, only say it compliantly. Mm-hmm. As you said before, rigorous truth telling.
Yes.
You try to enhance their ability to tell the truth in a way that sounds unique and engaging. Yep. And
yeah, it's easy to make a post or an advertisement that highlights somebody who made $1 million doing either real estate or Renatus, selling Renatus education, and the issue is first of all, that's an income claim. The issue though is that there is a net impression or this inference that, like, hey, either it's easy to do that,
right,
or everybody does that, or it's a larger swath of the percentage of marketers than they think. The issue is that if there's that impression that is untrue, so it's the easiest way to stay compliant is to tell them what they're going to get, which is education. That's what we do, right? They want education. That's what we provide. There are many, many success stories. We've put out the Walk of Fame, for instance. That's a great video, showing or highlighting all of the success, or many of the success cases. Not everybody's there. I mean, we have tens of thousands of students across the nation that have purchased along our history of Renatus, and we don't keep track of any of those people. It's all self-reported, and I mean that video definitely lets you know. But focus on what we're doing, not the results that they may or may not get.
Right.
Also, there was one other thing I was going to say that that I felt like was going to be really helpful. I will think of it and I will bring it back up.
Nice.
Yes.
It's been my perspective that as you get engaged with individuals, you are always looking to help them to create that kind of clarity in their advertisement or just in their communication online at all.
Yeah.
And I love, especially as you work with some people, I love as they are challenging you a little bit, not because they're like trying to challenge you, but instead they're trying to find creative ways to solve the problem as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like you've probably had a lot of situations where people were coming to you and were creatively looking for solutions.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of story that comes to mind of when somebody was getting really creative with the what they were trying to solve?
Well, I feel like we've had to do that from a corporate standpoint, or as we put out some slides. I believe that are still in Helios of some creative advertising. Just trying to find creative ways to, or at least kind of fire up the creative juices in our marketers so they can come up with stuff. But it does take some. Now there's a set of rules that we didn't have when we first started. When the company first started, we didn't even have a compliance department. But we've really gone pretty hard at it for 6, 7, maybe 8 years now. I don't remember, but you've got to work within these rules to create ads that are going to be compliant. But you also want your ads to work, right? To pull, because you need to sell the sizzle, that the cereal tastes good. It does, right? So, so that's also important. So I don't know. I've worked with probably I can think of, Jason Nedro. I had to rework some of his slides so for one of his presentations. I appreciate he came up with a real creative solution with one of them, because there was like really nice cars.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff,
I remember
which is
this was
a lifestyle
hilarious.
claim, right? It infers that, when you got private jets and Lamborghinis and stuff, it infers that, that you're going to be making the kind of money that you can buy a private jet and Lamborghinis with, right? Which is a net impression that is not compliant.
Yeah.
So he put in some like old beater, broken down like $500 car,
A jalopy.
yeah, in the slide in the background. I thought that was pretty funny, but there's definitely been a lot of creative problem solving with how do we do this? How do we inform people that yes, there are people who create success, and there are actually quite a few, especially when it comes to actually using the real estate education. There's a lot of success.
Yeah.
I'm continually even surprised at how often people come to me that all I know is they bought education, and I never saw them again. I never heard from them, again. And then 2 years later, they're coming back, and I find out that that's what they're doing. They're doing real estate full time or whatever. I don't know a percentage of what that looks like, but I am thoroughly, pleased to see that that people, there's success. You need to be able to sell that success, but also it's important for people to understand that there are potential downsides. Like, and again, the amount of level of work and stuff that you put into things matters, right?
Right, absolutely.
But some people even put in a lot of work and still don't become successful. And so you've got to inform people of that. And that's why we have our income disclosure statement, and then we've also got our disclosure packets that outline this as well. So we, from the company standpoint, do everything we can do to disclose all of that prior to the purchase. But our ICMs are also required to make sure that makes it into their prospects' hands before that purchase takes place.
Right. I was thinking about it, and I think maybe the new name for your department should be like the Renatus Opportunity Protection Unit or something like that.
There you go.
Because that's what you're all about. You're all about making sure that Renatus can outlive all of us, right? Yeah. And the way that we do that is by keeping ourselves as compliant as possible and making sure that we're making every effort to represent ourselves correctly and to make sure that people understand exactly who we are when they get involved with us.
Absolutely. Yeah, and one thing I do want to mention, I try to mention it, and at any opportunity that I may have, we teach classes on how to raise private money or hard money, or how to borrow money for real estate transactions or find it, meaning you know somebody who has money and you bring them into the deal. But whatever you do as far as lending or even borrowing, you should be securing that money properly. Yes. So please make sure, and if you don't know how to do that, we teach that. But I'm not going to go through it, the class, but you need to know how to secure that money properly. I will say this, a promissory note is not sufficient. All too often, people, this is inside of our community or outside. I see just deals take place where they happen on promissory notes. Oh, I found this guy on Craigslist and, whatever. And he's a real estate investor, and he's going to take my money and he's going to, invest it in this fix and flip or something. And you have no idea if that guy knows anything, and I got a promissory note. Well, that, it could even be a legal document in court, but if your money is not secured properly and that guy loses the house, or he doesn't, it doesn't make money, he loses a bunch of money, whatever happens, you're kind of hosed, because even if you take that guy to court, he may not have, you've probably heard that you can't get blood from a stone, right? Like, you can't get money from somebody who's filing bankruptcy or broke. Right? Like, yeah, the court can even say, okay, well, now that guy owes you money. But if he doesn't have it, it doesn't matter.
Right. You can't get money from someone who doesn't have any.
Exactly. So I try to hit big on that because, I've heard of several deals where they went south and somebody didn't secure money properly. And that's the thing. There is risk in real estate investing.
Right.
So again, I don't want to just highlight the upside and not inform that there's not a risk. But I do love seeing what happens when people do everything right. That's fun. That's fun for me.
Yeah. So what if somebody had questions for you, if they wanted to maybe even pass one of their posts or their ads by you, what's the best way for someone to get in contact with you?
legal@myrenatus.com would be where I'd tell you to send anything compliant related. Just legal@myrenatus.com. I'm happy to. I love to educate, so please, if you've got any questions, kick it over to me. I'll tell you, and I'll try and help brainstorm a way to make it work. I've done that for quite a few people. So, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, Matthew, I appreciate what you do for the company. I appreciate what you do for the family at large, because I know, like I said, your position really is all about protecting.
Yeah.
You're not about enforcing or even making people like pay for what they've done wrong, but instead you're all about educating and inspiring, assisting them to really be able to go out there and to do it just a little bit better. And I appreciate that because it protects the opportunity for me, for all of us. As the one thing I can say is that we've had several people who have thought, oh man, if compliance is reaching out to me, then I did something really, really wrong, or I'm a bad person, or I screwed up, or whatever it is. And the one thing that I've always been impressed with the way that you interact with those folks is that you ensure that they feel your sincerity in saying, hey, yeah, this is not compliant, but that doesn't make you a bad person. And all you got to do is edit this one word, or you got to change this little thing here. And I love that. That just is so empowering for people. In fact, I remember I was talking to one ICM, and he goes, man, I look forward to getting those emails, because that means that I can now do it just a little bit better with every single one that comes through.
I remember what I was going to say.
Oh.
So first of all, I appreciate that. We really try to educate. I'm not looking to discipline or whatever unless that's necessary. Unless we've got to kick somebody out because they're basically giving us the middle finger and saying, I'm going to do whatever I want. And it's like, well,
right.
You can't represent us if that's the case. I mean, because it just doesn't work that way. But that is so few. I mean, I don't know. That is so few people. That is such a small percentage of our marketer base. Most everybody wants to do it right, and they just don't know how. And I get the opportunity to educate them on how or why something might be a problem. But the other thing I was going to say earlier that I forgot was people often ask, like, how do I show people the potential, that $1 million is possible or whatever, right? And that's to show them the comp plan. Show your prospects the comp plan. They, explain how the comp plan works. I mean, that's all you. It lays out exactly, the potential that, what somebody gets paid off of a sale, what it would take. And I mean, just don't be deceptive in the efforts that, if they're asking questions about, well, how many of these do I got to sell to make, $1 million or whatever, just give them an honest answer.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. That's awesome. And I love that, because that really is, because of the so many variables that are a part of the Renatus success equation. It's impossible for us to be able to draw a straight line to say, hey, if you do these efforts, you're guaranteed these results.
Yeah.
And I love the way that you've talked about, hey, you know what? I'm going to show you the equation. I'm going to show you all of the tools that are available, and then you get to draw your own conclusions. You get to define what level of effort and influence you want to exert. You get to talk about, how much time and energy you're going to put into this opportunity. Yeah. And it's really based up to every single individual.
It very much so is. I will say this, the people who work on themselves, I see more success out of, right? Yeah. Generally speaking, I could name off a few of just, people that when they started, they they were pretty rough around the edges, and they worked on themselves while they were also learning how to invest in real estate and do all those things. And they were able to create really incredible results. But also, everybody's starting point changes or is different. Right. I hate to break it to you, but life is not fair. We don't all get to start at the same starting line, So in other words, you have two people who purchase education. One might have more resources available to them than you do, or the vice versa. And that's just the way it is. Right. We do, however, teach people how to operate or how to get into real estate without even having those, like how do you find private or hard money? How do you bring that deal to that individual so that they're going to be like, okay, yeah, this is something I could invest in. So you need to know that.
So get educated.
Yep.
Get creative and stay compliant.
Yeah, buddy. Do it.
Rigorous truth-telling.
That's right.
That's awesome. Matthew, thank you. Thank you for what you do for the company. Thank you for your excellence in everything that you do in your job. Because, like I said earlier, you really are you're the Renatus shield. You're the one that's protecting us and helping us to stay as compliant as possible and do everything right. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're a rock star. Never forget, everybody, the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the many people that are associated with us. That includes Mr. Matt Snyder. That includes Aaron Peterson. That includes every single one of you. Thanks for being with us. We will be back next Wednesday. Same time, same channel. Have a great week, everybody. Renatus rocks.